Your ears are very important to us. Please hold on, and our program will begin shortly. The Soundcheck podcast is coming up. Please continue to hold.
October 14 and the 18th is the release. I know, I get nervous. Like, I was fine right now.
Keep up with the Soundcheck podcast and everything that's happening in the New Sounds empire. Just go to newsounds.org and follow us on social media. All of the icons are in the top right corner of the page. All of our other musicians are currently playing for other customers. Please stay with us, and someone will play for you in just a moment. From newsounds.org and the studios of WNYC in New York, it's time for another live performance in our Soundcheck podcast series, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm John Schaefer. La Santa Cecilia is the Grammy-winning, LA-based Latin/rock/soul band that makes hard-partying dance music, but also makes hard-hitting songs about social and political concerns. The fun part is, you can't always tell which is which. They have a new album coming out called La Santa Cecilia, and the band is here to play some of it for us. This first song is called 1,000 Times.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Standing on the edge of losing everything I've worked so hard to build. The days are long, the nights are calm. The peace and quiet makes me kind of crazy. I followed all the rules, I've been so good. You know I've made it look so easy. I'm hiding out where everybody sees me. No one can hear me screaming. Why do I even try? I'm going down again. I've died 1,000 times and it never ends. There's no one left to blame. I've got to watch it fall. I've got to let it burn. I'm going down again. Some days I wanna cry about the things that pass me by. I can't help it. I'm bound to make the same mistakes and break my promises. I can't help it. I followed all the rules. I've been so good. You know I've made it look so easy. I'm hiding out where everybody sees me. No one can hear me screaming. Why do I even try? I'm going down again. I've died 1,000 times and it never ends. There's no one left to blame. I've got to watch it fall. I've got to let it burn. I'm going
That is La Santa Cecilia. I'm glad you guys laughed at the end because I felt kind of bad smiling my way through such a sad song.
It is a sad song, but it's also one of those songs where, when you're going down and there's nothing you can do about it, right? Then say, "Wee!"
Just pretend it's a ride.
Exactly.
Right.
So let me introduce you to the members of La Santa Cecilia. La Marisol on lead vocals. You heard Pepe playing the accordion, and now he's strapped on the requinto, the high-strung guitar. On the cajon, the traditional box, that's oso, although your box, oso, looks very kind of modern and
It's got a
sleek
nice little faceplate on it. Huh? Yeah, it's
Yes.
pretty fancy, exactly.
And normally, Alex Bendania would be playing the bass, but today, the guitar.
That's right.
All right. So, Marisol, that song, 1,000 Times, is sung in English, but it's kind of a musically bilingual song. The melody has a little ranchera flavor to it,
Totally.
but there's also a little bit of kind of like, I don't know, mid-20th century pop, like 50s.
Yeah,
kinda
I think so.
sound.
There's a little bit of that like 50s pop sound, and I most definitely like feel the norteño, the tejano music, coming out when Pepe plays the accordion. Yeah, it's a mix. I think that even though the song is in English, I think who we are comes through too. What
Yeah.
music we like, what our influences are. And that is most definitely norteño and ranchera music.
Right. So you all grew up in L.A., right? Although, Alex, you were born in Venezuela.
I was born in Venezuela, but I grew up in LA.
Right.
Yeah, same thing.
So did you grow up at the time of like the punk scene, bands like X, or was it Los Lobos, or was it all of the above?
I think it was all of that. I know growing up in LA, like going to school, I went to Hollywood High School, and I loved listening to Mercedes Sosa and singing boleros and rancheras on the weekends. But during the weekday at school, I was listening to the Doors and the Red Hot Chili Peppers and the Beatles and Janis Joplin. It was always like you're living in two worlds, two different worlds. Yeah.
Didn't the Chili Peppers drummer play with you guys at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Chad
did.
Smith,
we did.
yeah.
We did something for the Boys and Girls Club out on the west
I
side.
told him, I was like, hey, dude, we're going to do a U2 song, but we do it country. He's like, oh, cool, country, got it, man, no problem. He gets up there and starts playing it ska. He counts out 1, 2, 3, 4. We're like, oh, no.
We're like,
was
just go
fun,
with
though.
it.
Wrong
It
country.
was so fun. It was so fun, though. It was great.
So how do you decide when do you know what language a song is going to be in?
I feel like when we songwrite, I don't think there's any control to say, oh, this song has to be in Spanish or in English. I feel like songs and feelings have their own life, a mind of their own almost, and they want to come out the way they want to come out, no? And yeah, sometimes they come out in English, sometimes they come out in Spanish, sometimes they come out in Spanglish.
Right.
And we just gotta go with it,
Yeah. Well, the first single from the new record, La Santa Cecilia, is called Winning, and it has this funny video. It's all about social media and stuff. It has both languages in it. And it also gets to a question that I've always kind of wondered about, because we all say La Santa Cecilia. But in the video, I think it's you, Pepe, who say La Santa Cecilia, which is like the...
It's actually on the recording. It's I think it's something from
You just Google search.
Yeah,
you Google
search.
search.
And it said,
So
we
that's
just-
how Google pronounces it.
yeah.
So you were
Cecilia.
lip syncing to the
Yes.
to Google.
La Chancha Cecilia.
He sometimes talks like that, though, right?
But so you do say Cecilia, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Cecilia. Uh-huh.
But in Italy they would say Santa Cecilia, of course.
Right.
And she is the patron saint of musicians. So
is.
it's a well-chosen name. How did you settle on that?
Well, we were kind of doing like a text message exchange, and then we were like, oh, La Puerta Negra. Marisol wanted the band to be called the Pelvic Thrust, and
I wanted the pelvic thrust because we were like, doing a lot of dance music.
Little Rocky
and-
Horror Picture Show.
Yeah,
actually.
of course,
man.
of course.
And then we were like, and I was obsessed with this Cuban song called La Santa Cecilia, and then and I suggested the name, and it's great because it's a very strong feminine name, and it represents our faith in what we could accomplish with music and our brotherhood and our dreams together and stuff. So that's why we called it that.
Okay, but it's not just Santa Cecilia. It's La Santa. It's the. So this is like an Ohio State kind of thing. Yeah.
You know what? But there's a lot of Santa Cecilia bands. There's Santa Cecilia orchestras. There's mariachis. I mean, we've traveled all over Mexico, and you've always found, if it's not a mariachi, a banda, a dueto, that are called Santa Cecilia of the pueblo that they're from or the country. So maybe that's why we put La Santa Cecilia.
Right.
But
De Los
we're
Angeles,
just only
California.
one of many.
That's what I was going to
Santa
say. You could have been
Cecilia bands.
Santa Cecilia de Los Angeles.
De Los
you know?
Angeles.
But instead, it's La. And you are La Marisol.
La Marisol, sí.
With the soul at the end.
So, yes, Soul, yes. So, ever since the song El Hielo, which means ice, but is a play on the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, your songwriting seems to have taken a more deliberate turn. I mean, it was always impossible, I guess, to avoid these sort of things in your songwriting. But since that time, about 6 years ago, it seems to be a much more conscious effort on your parts to be conscious, as the kids say. Is that? I mean, does that seem to be the case? Are you a bit more focused on talking about what you see?
I mean, I think the main goal has always been to just be honest with what we're living and going through. And at that moment when we wrote El Hielo, Pepe was a dreamer. He was undocumented at the time, and he couldn't travel with us, and we would have to take long routes to avoid checkpoints and stuff like that. So it was something that we were living within the band and also experiencing in our everyday community. A lot of our friends were part of the Dream Act, and we would play fundraisers for them so they can afford to go to school and stuff like that. And we were living that within our families, deportations and stuff like that. And it opened up, it was like a huge release valve for us. And it really changed our lives because it was dangerous kind of in a way to put Pepe out there. And a lot of the people in the video as well were undocumented at the time. So, these people were courageous enough. Pepe was courageous enough to say, hey, I'm undocumented, I'm unafraid, I'm here, and this is my story. And I think that for us, that was such a powerful moment, and it changed our lives forever. And now we're in a space where, it's on our spectrum always, it's just who we are.
And Pepe, you are now documented.
Yes. After 27 years, I finally got my... First, I got my permanent residency, and then I got my U.S. citizenships. Thanks to my wife, she's the one that petitioned me. But, adding to what also said, we never started out as a band that was going to be really involved in politics or activism, right? But through our experiences and through our fans' experiences, we knew that we needed to talk about these problems. And it's unfortunate that 6 years ago this song was written and we're still going through the same, persecution against our community.
Some may say worse,
right?
even.
It just gets worse. So, but we can't forget where we come from, and I think we all come from a different place, and we still have to keep on supporting our brothers and sisters that are at the border, little kids that are locked up in cages. It's an unfortunate situation that we're all living because it's our problem. It's not just their problem. So we got to speak about it. We got to talk about it, and we got to keep it going. And to all our friends out there that are dreamers that are still in the same situation, we got your back.
La Santa Cecilia is the name of the band. It's also the name of their forthcoming record out on October 18th. They will be back here in New York at the Gramercy Theater on October 14th to celebrate the impending release of the album. And all of this talk of social conscience and being aware and stuff, the reason I bring it up now is because this next song is called I've Been Thinking. And I don't know... I don't know the song. I mean, it's it hasn't been released yet, but it seems like a thoughtful title. What is this song, Marisol?
Well, the
What
song
this?
is about love, and it's about loss. And this path in the making of this album, we've gone through a lot. We've gone through a lot, man. A lot of loss, a lot of changes. Yes, we've had children. We have families now. We lost, 3 of us lost our dads in 12 months.
Wow.
And so, like also said, we have to write about what's going on with us, man. Because
Yep.
that's what we do. So this is a song we wrote for anyone who's lost love, who's lost somebody, and who never. I think nobody ever wants to be free from love. No,
Mm-hmm. Well,
and that's what it's about.
Let's hear the song. It's called "I've Been Thinking." The band is La Santa Cecilia.
I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you and me. All that we shared, from our first kiss to our last embrace. I've been drinking since you've been gone. I've been drowning in tears, hoping that you call. Life without you is a terrible sadness. I can't say goodbye. Do you miss me like I do? Someone keeping you warm, 'cause I'm all alone. Life without you is a terrible sadness. I can't say goodbye. It's a terrible sadness without you, and I'd rather die. Love, hold me tight, don't let me go. Love, chain me up, break me down.
Shabop, shabop.
Yeah.
That is some lovely singing from La Marisol and the band La Santa Cecilia. It does have also a kind of, I heard a hint of doo-wop in there, and of
Yeah.
course some classic soul as well. When the four of you got together, what were you playing when
Well-
when you first started busking out on the streets?
Yeah, when Marisol and Pepe were playing traditional Mexican music at Olvera Street, they were playing boleros, rancheras, guapangos, stuff like that. Alex and I were playing a lot of salsa, funk, jazz, and stuff like that. Alex was in a ska band. Marisol and I met when we were 18, 19, playing in a Spanish rock band. But we were all gigging musicians, and we all kind of, luckily we all shared this dream of making our own music, because a lot of times when you're playing in bands, you're a hired gun. Like,
Yeah.
no one really cares, they don't care if the DJ's playing or the band's playing, and music is so special to us that we didn't want it to just be that. We wanted it to be important. We wanted to make something important for our city and for ourselves.
And Marisol, you were clearly moved
Sorry.
by singing that song. I mean, one of the great things about music is, as also said, it's important. It means something to you. How do you sing? I mean, I realize that you haven't been out touring this song yet. At some point, you have to get to a place where you can just sing the song, right? And not be overcome.
I hope so. I hope that I'm not cry singing this song all the time, right? But I think that's something. I think it comes with what I do as a singer. I'm moved by music. I've been moved by music all my life. I've been inspired by it. It's been there with me in all my happy moments. It's been there in the memories that I have with people I love. It's there in my sad moments. So when I get up and sing, I can't help but remember. No, they say recordar es volver a vivir. No, to remember is to live again, and I can disconnect myself to deliver the job, right? To deliver the goods, but then I don't know how good that would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just feel like
yeah.
sometimes you just gotta sing and you gotta feel it, and I don't know. I apologize if I messed up, but
No.
but
No, please.
But perfection, like I feel like as a singer, when I listen to other singers, I don't want perfection. I
Yeah.
want to feel something, man.
Right.
And I just hope that people out there listening feel something, because then what good is my voice for, right? If
Right.
I'm not
Right.
doing, yeah.
So were you?
But it comes at a cost, because look at me, I'm a crybaby. Like, I'm over here crying, bawling,
So you were thinking of your dad while you were singing
Yeah,
that?
I do. I miss him.
Yeah. So this album comes from obviously a number of different kind of emotional places.
Yeah,
Loss being one of them. It's also an album that you've chosen not to give a title to. It's just La Santa Cecilia, which when a band does that, into their career, and you guys are well into your career as a band, it seems to me like it's kind of a statement of identity, of intent. Is it that for you?
Totally. I
Yes,
think
I think
it's
so.
beautiful. I mean, I think, we did an album called Amar y Vivir of traditional music. We went back to our roots, and we wanted to share what we grew up playing and what we grew up listening to and stuff. And then, we're doing La Santa Cecilia. It's like a brand new start for the band. And also it could be a completely new introduction for a lot of people, because maybe a lot of people haven't heard this side of the band. But the DNA of the band from the beginning was always mixing genres and styles, 5 different rhythms in one song and stuff. And so, maybe people that got into the band through Amar y Vivir didn't really know that about the band. And now it's like, here is La Santa Cecilia. It's a clean. It also feels like a clean start for us,
Yeah. Now, you've always been very carefully considered about the cover songs that you do. I mean, your
we
version.
love playing covers. We do. We love it.
Your version of Strawberry Fields Forever, the video that goes with your version of that is like a really surprisingly moving kind of, remember where the strawberries come from, and, who's out in the field picking them and everything. On this record, you've chosen to go back to an old song that Bessie Smith made famous in the late 1920s. Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out. What's the appeal of that? What was the consideration that led you to that song?
Well, this song just happened with our we recorded it with our friends the California Feet Warmers. They're a band that plays out there in LA. They play everywhere, And I
And
feel like
they're a kind of a New Orleans style
yeah,
brass
they're
band.
Like a,
Yeah,
they're like
exactly.
a brass band. They play a lot of that 1920s music.
Right.
They're one of my favorite bands to see live. They fill my heart and my soul with love and happiness. But I think something that's really cool about living in LA is that you get to share and meet musicians from all different walks of life, different styles of music, and this song came about playing and just partying with these guys, like they come out of their gig, we come out of our gig, we meet at each other at our friend Chief's house, where there's always like a bottle of mezcal or something to go around and share, and we just get into it and we start jamming, and these guys will play norteñas, and then we'll sing cumbia, and then we'll start singing these songs like Bessie Smith songs, and it's just a reflection of what goes on in our private lives. Like, this is what we actually love to do, is play music with our friends from other bands, and yeah.
Well, no feet warmers available today. It's just the four of you.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious to see how this turns out. You want to
Let's do it.
play the song?
Sure.
It's an old 1920s blues made famous by Bessie Smith, but now played by La Santa Cecilia.
Once I lived the life of a millionaire, spending my money, I didn't care. I carried my friends out for a good time, buying bootleg liquor, champagne and wine. Then I began to fall so low. I didn't have a friend and no place to go. But if I ever get my hands on $1 again, I'm gonna hold on to it till them eagles grin. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. In my pocket, not one penny, and my friends I haven't any. But if I ever get on my feet again, then I'll meet my long lost friends. It's mighty strange, without a doubt. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. I mean, when you're down and out. When you're down and out, not one penny, and my friends I haven't any. Well, I felt so low. Nobody wants me round their door. Without a doubt, nobody knows you when you're down and out. I mean, when you're down and out.
Okay, Pepe has convinced me that the accordion can be a blues instrument. That is Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out, live performance by La Santa Cecilia. Is this going to be the only cover on the new record?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
the only cover. Yeah.
So the 6 originals and then this old song from the 1920s. The album is called La Santa Cecilia. It comes out on October 18th. And the 4 of you will be back. Will you have others in tow at Gramercy Theater on the 14th?
Yeah, we'll be back with the full band at the Gramercy on October 14th. We're super excited, and of course the songs will have a completely different flavor, and you'll see really all the elements that are involved in creating the textures and the sounds and the everything, So we're
So you'll
super
be
excited.
plugging in, is what you're telling us.
Yes.
All right.
Totally.
But it's been great hearing you unplugged here in our studio today. Thank you so much for coming.